What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dime Aki. I'm here. I hope you here because if you're here, you know you got purpose, period. Anyways, I miss y'all. I miss y'all. It's been what, like maybe 2 weeks since I came and chopped it up, with y'all. But I'm back, we making progress, just trying to get the hang of things or whatever. And pretty much like what I've been experiencing like the last couple weeks honestly brought me to like do this video. So today we're gonna talk about, change. We're gonna talk about evolving, yourself into your higher self. Because that's something that I have been like experiencing these past couple weeks. Like the universe has literally like sent out a signal, and I know I'm not the only one that feel this way, but it's like I'm being called to like let things go, release certain things to honestly just like to be used by spirit. So I just say, you know what, let's go ahead and get this journal out. Let's get this journal out and let's write down like how we feel, what I'm going through, because I know like I'm not the only one that's going through this. Somebody else, I'm pretty sure, is going through this. So when you going through something, it's not just for you to gatekeep. It's for you to share. It's for you to share whatever knowledge, whatever wisdom, because you just never know what may help somebody else. So let's just get into it. In this video, we're gonna, pretty much, I'm gonna touch on, since we're talking about change and just evolving, stepping into our higher self, into our soul purpose, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the angel number 5, but I'm gonna say that for a little later. But really though, with evolving comes releasing and surrendering. And what I found for like myself, that has been the hardest part. Like that's been the hardest part, because let me tell you why I found it to be the hardest part for myself. Because what happens is we gain attachments to people. We gain, whether that's your boyfriend, your man, your mama, your cousin, your best friend. We gain attachments to people. We gain attachments to food. We gain attachments to addictions. Like we can be an addiction, especially if it's stopping you from being productive. Because yeah, it can be an addiction. Alcohol, social media, just anything that you notice that like you're consuming too much of and it's really not serving you no purpose. Like that boyfriend that like it's it's not right by you. Y'all on two separate timelines. You trying to go up the hill, he trying to go down the hill. You know what I mean? You gotta let that person go down the hill and you continue to go up the hill. That person is just gonna hold you back. So like it's just different things like that. We gain these attachments to certain things, and that shit be hard. And we hold on to these attachments because we depend on that person, that food, that that weed. We depend on that stuff. We depend on those addictions because it give us a feeling that we feel that we aren't capable of giving ourselves. We get used to things and we get comfortable in these attachments, and because we get comfortable in it, it becomes all we know. But what if I told you that all that you know is holding you back from being your higher self? This is something that I had to like tell myself. Like for me, I'm gonna go ahead and just get transparent and get comfortable with y'all. Shit, my attachment, one of my biggest attachments that I feel like I need to most definitely release is like weed. I love to smoke. I'm not saying that I don't feel like I don't need to smoke ever again, but there needs to be like some type of discipline there when it comes to it, which I am doing better with that. But yeah, and because I smoke so much, my body is so tolerated to it, and it causes me to want to drink alcohol because it gives me more of a high. And I know that like that's not good. So I know that I have to that attachment. I'm telling you, it's that attachment. So that's something that I'm just, I just wanted to share that. Hell, before that, it was my kid's dad. I had a strong attachment to him, and I'll be honest, shit, a lot of it was sexually, and just having someone there, and then of course wanting to fight for something that ain't, that doesn't want you. It's like, why are you fighting for something that don't want you? When you gotta fight for it, then it ain't for you. You know what I mean? So yeah, like things like that, it holds us back, and it's holding you back from taking that next step to being your higher self. And that's what I realized. Yes, I still, I'm still being blessed with knowledge, with wisdom, insight, and abundance and things like that, because yeah, I am walking in my purpose. I know I'm walking in my purpose, but as I am starting to walk in my purpose, I'm seeing that certain things can't go with me. Like for instance, if I'm drinking the night before, I know the next rise and I want to rise and get up and work out. But if I'm drinking the night before, I don't have the energy to get up and to rise up and work out. If I'm eating maybe a lot of sugar or something like that the night before, you may not, if you have that addiction to food, which is sugar, and you over consuming that, sugar depletes you. It makes you heavy. It doesn't give you any type of energy. So usually, like when you do that kind of stuff, you can't fulfill what your goal. It kind of takes away from that. So like, I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes, like if I do have a drink or something like that and I get a little too tipsy the night before, something that helps me though is that I realized that helped me with my hangover is what is it called? I know it is. Harataki pills, and I'm gonna put it up there for y'all so you can know what I'm talking about. That helps me with my digestion, and it also with my hangover sometimes if I get a little too tipsy, and then it also helps me with clarity. It helps me to dream a lot better, even if I probably smoked before I went to sleep, or had a glass of wine before I went to sleep. It does that. So yeah, it's called Harataki. But let's get back to it, child, because I know I can go back. Let's get back on a road. Let's get back on the course, because look, I like to wander off into the woods a little bit. So yeah. But it's just keeping you from being your higher self, from stepping into your higher self. And it's like you're going against your soul's urge, And this feeling when you going against the grain, that shit is so uncomfortable. You'll start to eat yourself alive. You'll start to condemn yourself, because it's like you know better. At this point, it's like, shit, I know better. You know what I mean? I know better. I know I gotta release this thing to, get where I need to be. This is kind of like keeping back, and it's like, I know better. Why am I still doing this? So, yes, the in-between state, it is very uncomfortable. It's like, two people, you got a person on your right arm yanking you, trying to pull you up that mountain, and then you got the person on your left arm yanking you, trying to pull you down the mountain, to keep you stagnant where you at. And that shit like this, you being yanked, going back and forth. It is just, I'm telling you, the feeling is so overwhelming, and it's hard to like express it, but it's just like you'll go into like a depression and all in a way, if you go against it, because it's like I know I'm supposed to be doing something. I know I'm supposed to be this thing right here. I know when I let this go, like I know it's something on the other side of that door that's waiting on me. That's gonna replace that feeling, whatever that feeling, that thing that I'm addicted to gives me. It's something else on the other side of the door that's gonna give me that and more, that feeling and more. It's just that we just be so afraid of the unknown. We just don't, because we don't know. But yeah, so it's just like one person, pulling you here, pulling you there, and it's just like It's almost like that. You know how that God, devil, like thing, the analogy or whatever. Like how you got God on the angel on the right shoulder and the devil on the left shoulder, and you got the angel telling you to do this, and the devil saying it's like, you know, that the earthly thing still got you like the feeling, the physical still got you like this, but then you got the spiritual. You know, it's like it's just, it's crazy. You just start feeling torn in between the two. Cause I really wanna be with you, but something just telling me that I should leave you alone, leaving you alone. In between the two, cause I really wanna be with you, but something just telling me that I should leave that weed alone. Woo, but for real though, like, yeah, you know, I had a little Latoya Luckett came through really quick. But yeah, and then like I also like to associate it with the feeling of just feeling like you glitching, you know, between your higher self and your current self. Because like I was saying earlier, it's like you showing up for yourself. You doing some of the things that you see your higher self doing. Like for me, like one of my goals that I see my higher self doing is, you know, working out. You know, rising up and working out and exercising my body. Been doing that, you know, doing this YouTube shit, you know, getting out and expressing myself. I've been doing that, but I'm still, you know, rolling around the street, smoking, sipping on gin and juice, lay back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. No, but I'm so serious, y'all. Y'all gonna have to mind me, because one thing is I love me some music, and if, you know, what I'm saying kind of resonates with the music, it's gonna come out. You see, I got Leah. The princess, like, yeah. But anyways, but yeah, it's like you just glitching. You know, it's like you showing up for yourself, but then it's like you still not. It's still like your subconscious, like, okay. And then sometimes I ask myself, it's like I ask myself, am I just being too hard on myself? But then no, because I know my soul, it's a soul urge. So it's like, you know, the feeling or whatever. But yeah, like what I was saying earlier as well too, when you resist the urge that your soul is giving you to step into your truest form, like you start to feel depressed. You start to feel a little depressed, because what you're doing is you're suppressing what you're meant to exude, what you're meant to be, you know, what you are meant to to express, you know, which is your higher self. So holding on to like the weed, holding on to smoking excessive weed, because let me say this, like the weed let you know. Look, the weed let you know, but when you overdo it, that's when it's like a detriment. You know, I feel like it most definitely is something that was put here, you know, for me and you. Yeah, but for real, like I do feel like it was something that was put here for me and you, but just not you. Too much of anything is not good, period. So yeah, but yeah, when you holding on to that weed, when you holding on to the man or the woman that you know that you need to like release, that you need to let go, when you holding on to just eating excessive sugar, when you holding on to drinking excessive alcohol, when you constantly looking at social media, when you know your ass need to be, you know, studying for a test or something like that, or, you know, working out, you rising up on social media when you could be working out, like when you holding on to that, when you holding on to all that dense energy, it just makes you very heavy, because dense is heavy, it's low, and the objective in spirituality is to become light as a feather. My eye, the balance, Libre, that balance, you know. So finding spirituality is already a lot within itself. Okay, so a lot of people, they want all the wisdom, they want all the knowledge, they want all the magic, they want to do spells, they want to do this, but baby, what I had to learn and what I've learned as well, just from, you know, people that, you know, I get my learnings and teachings from, is that you will go crazy. You will go crazy if you don't have enough space to even hold that light. That's why it's so important to work on yourself. It's so important to work on yourself. That's why the number one thing, like in spirituality, is healing. Healing, working on yourself, self-love. You know, that is important. It's so important because all that light and that knowledge, like some of us think we know it all. No, the hell we don't. You know, and spirituality, like I said, it's like going down a rabbit hole. That within itself that can drive you crazy. Sometimes, like the things that I know just from entering, you know, this stage of my life on my spiritual journey, like I'd be like, what the fuck? What in the fuck? But it's like it'd be like, what in the fuck? Because like deep down, it's like my soul knew this, I knew this, or it's just like, damn, like what else? Ain't nothing new under the sun, and it's just like everything continues to amaze you. So it's just like if you're dense, you're not gonna be able to hold that. You're gonna drive yourself crazy. So it's like a hotel, you know, a hotel that has no vacancy. Then you can't go stay at that hotel. Ain't no vacancy. It's at its capacity. You're at your capacity. And in order to let new things come in, you got to let some things go. You know what I mean? So I just would like to invite you to let new things to come in, because when you do that, that's a way of manifesting, you know, new things, newness into your life. You know, so yeah. So surrendering to that thing that no longer serves you and making room for more enlightenment and bliss and abundance, that's where it's at. That's really where it is, you know. And with that comes clarity and everything else, you know. You start walking in your purpose, tending to your passions, like everything. So it's like once you surrender and let go, you gain more knowledge and wisdom. And you just gain a lot of enlightenment about yourself. You start getting certain gifts, like your intuition start coming on, your third eye start being activated. You're having dreams that's, you know, giving you signs, and you start going, when you ain't no such thing as dreaming, you start astral traveling and things like that. It's just like, I don't know, but you just feel different. You vibrate different. And also, since this is something that's important, since we're all connected, a lot of the times we go through the same exact experiences in life. We go through the same exact experiences in life to be able to help and enlighten others, you know, to show them the way. We don't go through anything for nothing. You're not going through that abusive relationship for nothing. You know, you didn't go through your trauma for nothing. You didn't experience a certain experience for nothing, you know? So, and that takes me to generational trauma. And it's like, I'm gonna ask you this, do you think that you're the only one that experienced the addiction that you addicted to? You think you're the only one that been hit, molested, or, you know, addicted to drugs or something like that, that's in your family? A lot of this stuff go deep. This stuff, it be in the DNA. A lot of the time, like for me, I got my dad who was addicted, you know, to alcohol. I got people on my mom's side being addicted to drugs, and yeah, that should be running in your DNA. You know what I mean? But you have to be the one to feel it and to walk in that, especially if you're the one that's healing the DNA and the generational curses, you know, for your ancestors, okay? You are the chosen one, and you were the chosen one before you was even thought of, long before your arrival. You know, when you came here, it was like Mufasa. You feel me? It was like Mufasa hold a symbol up on that rock. You feel me? When you were born, that was a pivotal moment for your family tree. The day you were born, you were meant not meant, but you went down in family history. Look, I'm trying to read my notes and stuff like that, but yeah. Yeah, but you went down in family history. That shit went down in family history because they knew you would have won. And one thing I want to say about chosen ones, everyone is chosen. Everyone is chosen. It's just about whether you're going to answer that call or not. So yeah. So just know that the strength, the endurance, and the discipline, and the resilience is already there within you. You just got to tap into it. You know, we just got to tap into it. And something I want to mention is that if you don't work with your ancestors, I just suggest that you create that healthy, you know, open, good, genuine relationship with your ancestors. Call on, just, you know, just be intentional about it. My good ancestors that's vibrating high, known and unknown, you know? Simple as that. My spiritual family, you know? They will assist you, okay? They can assist you in times like this. They know what it is. They know what it takes already. And trust me, you work with them, they're going to work with you. And as I was saying before, you know, change, like it does feel very weird. I have to say this. It's not something that's easy. It feels very weird. It's like I notice when I'm doing something different, like when I'm doing, like me doing this right now, it's weird. It makes me feel uncomfortable. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Sometimes when I'm rising up and I'm working out, showing up for myself makes me feel uncomfortable because it's not something that I'm used to doing. But the more you do it, the more you groove with it, tap into it, you're going to get more comfortable and it's not going to feel as unfamiliar. Like, when you change, do you understand when you change and switch something up within your routine, or you add something, or you doing something, you literally shifting timelines. You shifting that shit. But yeah, it's very uncomfortable for most humans. Change is very uncomfortable for most humans, yet everything around us is constantly changing, y'all. Everything. But change can really be a painful experience. Growth pains, that shit for real. You feel body aches, pain in the back, in your knees, your foot, knee, headaches, tiredness as well. Those are ascension symptoms. At this time, it's just best to like fuel your body, you know, with foods and fruits that nourish your body and soul, things that you like to do that nourishes your body and soul, and just know that it's okay to be still. Be a turtle, still move, just not too fast in this time. It's like a caterpillar. When it goes through which I believe is called metamorphosis stage, when it's in its cocoon, it has no choice but to be still, to grow, and be like in an introspective state of being, to change, you know? So I just wonder if that shit is uncomfortable for them. I think I heard somewhere, because I be watching a little Discovery, like little Disney Channel stuff. They be having like nature documentaries and stuff. And I think I don't even know, but I do wonder if they feel anything in that state where they go through that. But yeah, so this is just a time to go inward and to face you, to be completely honest with yourself. Keep that shit raw, uncut, cutthroat. Okay? You gotta be honest with yourself if you want to change. There ain't no pussyfooting around it, okay? But within it all, remember to just have grace for yourself. It's not a race, and it's just unforeseen to heal everything at once. It's called a journey for a reason. You know, it's a journey for a reason. You know, so I just push y'all to just encouragely heal. Because it's just, that's the important part of it. Usually, like, when you heal one thing, it'll open you to what you should work on healing next. Like, it just is, it's beautiful how it happens, because it's like, it's nothing you force. It just kind of comes, you know. It's like once you heal, and then it's like this new thing start open. Yeah. But when you heal one aspect of yourself, that aspect becomes your strength to help you to heal another aspect of yourself, trigger or trauma. Your healing becomes your strength. Healing is scary. It is. It's not easy because it requires you to be raw with yourself. It requires you to come out of victim mode and just see things to take yourself out of the situation and like see things from like a third party view. And that requires you to be real with yourself. So yeah. But here we go. Angel number 5. You probably have been saying angel number 5. I know I've been saying angel number 5, maybe 555, you know, or just 5 in general. Now, I want to throw out a disclaimer about angel numbers. Okay, so when it comes to angel numbers, I know when we usually see them, we want to go straight to Google and find out like what it's telling us, what it means, which is cool. It's cool. It's good to find out the energy of the number because you want to know the energy of the number. Not just the positive, but also the negative, because it's always duality in everything. Because sometimes we like to just focus on the negative. But take that, you know, whatever you find of that number, the energy of that number, and what you want to do is you want to think about like, at that moment when you seen that angel number, what was on your mind? What was on your conscious? How were you feeling? You know? Because at that point, when you see that, that's what your angels are really trying to tell you. They're not telling you exactly what you see on Google. You got to be present and bring it back to like, okay, I see this number. How do I feel right now? What was I just thinking? It's not necessarily what you're going to see on Google. Google is going to give you the energy of the number, for sure. And then you can like, whatever you was thinking, you can put that with what you gathered from the internet or whatever. But yeah, you probably have been saying this number. I know I have been saying this number for sure. Just to give y'all a little, you know, background on angel number 5, the number 5, the energy of it, it is associated with change. So if you send 5, 5, 5, 5, yeah, maybe your ancestors is trying to pull that ass. Your people's trying to pull that ass to change, you know. To attract what you want, you have to be the change of what you want to attract. And with 5 has to do with attraction as well. See how all this shit just like mesh and go and intertwine within each other? So yeah. Also, I wanted to mention that 5 is also associated with the planet Mercury. So, you know, as I like to call it, it got a little mercurial. I know that's not a word, but you know, mercurial energy to it. So, with that being said, Mercury is related and governs Gemini and Virgo. Those 2 signs are mutable signs, meaning change. So everything around 5, it brings you back to change. And maybe if you are a Virgo or a Gemini, maybe right now, especially with us being in Gemini season, you need a little bit of change and not just being stuck. Because sometimes Gemini gets stuck and I'm going all off track. But sometimes Gemini just gets stuck in what the with familiar things, and they stick to that, like, you know, what's around them versus expanding, you know. So yeah. But when I think about the energy of number 5, I also think about addiction and indulgence. And with 5, with things just being so attractive and things making you feel, it's like that earth. It's kind of like a earthly type number. Like it deals a lot with the physical of things, you know. And that's what I think of when I think of 5, for sure. So when you see angel number 5, it may be telling you to cut back and to, like, you know, pretty much cut back on some things, or just to really let shit go, period, you know. So enlightenment and being used by spirit is clarity, you know, on what your purpose is, your passions, what you're supposed to pursue. So this is what change is going to allow. It's going to allow that enlightenment for you to know what you have come here to this earthly realm to do. for you to step into your highest self, your truest form, so you can actually welcome in all the things that was meant for you to have, so you can create heaven right here on earth. Who says that we have to die to go to heaven? It's meant for you to experience right here on earth, you know? And another thing about 5, you know, 5 comes with that freedom, liberation. And when you allow the change to come into, when you accept change, you are going to allow so much abundance and freedom into your life. And that's what I have for y'all today. So, like I said, the universe has sent out a signal. Are you going to answer that call? You don't have to make all these changes at once. Don't overload yourself with that. Do one at a time, gradually. And like I said, just remember to have grace on yourself. You know, this ain't religion. You know, don't condemn yourself and be like, oh my God, I did. Nah, don't do that. Have grace on yourself, but just know, just keep taking them steps forward. And before you know, you're going to be there. And you're going to be like, damn, you know? You're going to be like, damn, I did this. So, yes, if you still here, it's your girl, Dime Aki. Drop Aki in the chat. We spell that AHQUI. And if you feel compelled and like, you know, you fuck with what I got going on, you know, hit that subscribe button, like, share, and comment. Until then, peace and blessings. I'm out.